Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're stepping into the story Cody Brown never wanted the world to hear. A story unraveling inside his own household. A betrayal so personal, so explosive, that even Flagstaff insiders are whispering that this might finally be the scandal that shatters the Brown family mythology forever. Cody Brown has always believed he was the gatekeeper, the self-appointed guardian of morality, destiny, and control. In his mind, he isn't just a father. He is the author of every narrative, the keeper of every choice, the king of a kingdom that stopped listening years ago. He writes the rules of courtship. He selects the suitors. He builds the walls. He enforces the purity codes. And he demands a level of loyalty that feels less like guidance and more like ownership. But what happens when the obedient daughter, the one he proudly held up as his moral achievement, the symbol of perfect compliance, the girl he believed would never step out of line, chooses someone Cody has declared the enemy? What happens when Aurora Brown stops following the script? Because today, we're not dealing with a rumor. We're not dealing with vague speculation. We're dealing with evidence. Evidence of a secret engagement, whispers of a possible ultrasound, and a man Cody Brown has allegedly threatened to physically remove from Coyote Pass. For the first time in her life, Aurora Brown has chosen a side. And it isn't her father's. Just days ago, a blurry Instagram photo hit the internet. Most people saw a cute pose. But if you zoom in on the left hand, everything changes. That ring? It is not a purity ring. It is not a promise ring. It is a declaration of independence. A challenge. A rebellion. It is the symbol of Cody Brown's worst nightmare. Because this time, the betrayal isn't coming from tabloids, ex-wives, or disgruntled adult children. The call is coming from inside the house. Fire before we reveal the man Cody banned from Flagstaff. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to SisterWives Crew, the only channel unafraid to say what the tabloids won't print. Turn on notifications right now, because what we're about to reveal is developing fast, and you do not want to miss the next update, especially once you hear who this mystery man is connected to. Hint: Christine Brown is at the center of this explosion, and Robin is reportedly screaming behind closed doors. To understand the betrayal, you must understand Cody's myth. Let's strip away the TLC editing and look at the raw truth of the environment Aurora has lived under. For 18 seasons, we've watched Cody cling to an old-world ideology disguised as protection. You remember the infamous hormone speech. You remember how he humiliated the older girls on camera. You remember the way he talked about kissing like it was a criminal offense. Because in Cody's world, if he can control who his daughters speak to, he can control their souls. Fear was always his method. Control was always his comfort. Purity was always his excuse. But even in this system, there was always a double standard. Christine's kids broke free. Janelle's kids broke free. Mary's daughter broke free. They moved out. They found partners. They became adults. But Robin's children were the last fortress, the untouchable, protected, unquestioned symbols of Cody's ideal family. And that is why Aurora's choice, her engagement, her hidden romance, her alleged rebellion, is not just a personal decision. It is a direct strike at Cody Brown's entire belief system. It is the moment the empire cracks from the inside. They grew up, they moved out, they built lives of their own. Christine's kids, Janelle's kids, even Mary's daughter, they all found partners who didn't bow to Cody Brown's authority. Partners who didn't treat him like a prophet. Partners who didn't ask for permission to exist. And Cody, instead of celebrating their independence, he erased them. He called them disloyal. He stopped visiting. He stopped calling. He let those relationships wither like neglected plants because the moment he couldn't control them, they stopped being his children in his eyes. But there was one place where Cody's throne still stood tall. Robin's mansion on the hill. The silent fortress, where Cody still played king. Where no one argued, no one resisted, no one challenged his delusions of authority. Inside that house, Aurora was his masterpiece. His golden child. His emotional safe zone. The daughter he pointed to whenever the other kids defied him. She never questioned him. She greeted him at the door like a victorious soldier returning from war. She followed every suffocating rule he created during the COVID years, rules that tore the rest of the family apart but kept Robin's household sealed like a temple. For years, Cody wielded Aurora like a weapon. Whenever Gabe cried for attention, whenever Garrison demanded respect, whenever Isabel begged for fairness, Cody's answer was always the same. Why can't you be more like Aurora? Why can't you be compliant? Why can't you respect my authority? He sculpted Aurora into a symbol, the perfect daughter, the obedient princess, the proof that his parenting worked as long as the child lived under his thumb. He convinced himself that she would never stray, that she would never question, that she would never even look at a boy without his permission, let alone fall in love with one. But that's the irony of control. The tighter the grip, the more violent the rebellion. And according to insiders close to production, the atmosphere inside Robin's house has shifted dramatically over the past several months. Not just tense, not just strained, but toxic. A pressure cooker of expectations, anxiety, emotional surveillance, and Cody's impossible standards, all waiting for one spark. And that spark, they say, was Aurora. We received a tip, not from a casual viewer, not from a random internet troll, but from someone who claims to have direct knowledge of the production schedule for the upcoming season. And according to this insider, a quiet earthquake hit the set. A production assistant, someone young, someone low-ranking, someone who thought they were invisible, was allegedly fired on the spot.
Why?
For secretly facilitating communication between Aurora Brown and an unidentified male. This wasn't innocent flirting. This wasn't a note slipped under a door. This was a smuggling operation. Covert messages, hidden calls, carefully timed exchanges. A full underground pipeline built right under Cody Brown's paranoid nose. Because while Cody was busy screaming at Christine, while he was busy picking fights with Janelle, while he was busy blaming everyone but himself for the collapse of his family, Aurora was quietly building a double life. The girl we see having panic attacks on camera. The girl Robin clings to like a fragile porcelain doll. The girl Cody treats like she's 12 years old. Behind the scenes, she was not the obedient daughter. She was a woman in love. Fire Cody's fragile narrative is crumbling for years. Cody has pushed one consistent storyline. Robin's kids are sheltered because they choose to be. They're tender age. They're innocent. They're different from the rebellious children of the other wives. But here's the truth. Cody treats Aurora like a child because the moment he acknowledges she is a grown woman, he must acknowledge that she has free will. And free will is Cody Brown's greatest enemy. Fire the twist, no one expected this rebellion, is not just about sneaking around. Not just about meeting a boy. Not just about dating in secret. It's about who that boy is. If Aurora had fallen for a random guy from school, Cody would be furious, but he would recover. If she had fallen for a boy from their church, Cody would puff out his chest and demand an interview to establish dominance. But Aurora didn't choose a safe option. She chose the nuclear option. Because our investigation, digging through social media footprints, analyzing mutual friends, and talking to Flagstaff locals who spotted the couple on the outskirts of town, points to one shocking revelation. Aurora's rumored secret fiancé is a distant relative of David Woolley. Let that sink in. David Woolley, the man who healed Christine, the man fans adore, the man Cody calls the evil rebound, the symbol of everything Cody lost and everything he could never be. David Woolley is calm. He is stable. He loves Christine without strings attached. He represents everything Cody failed to provide for his family. Now imagine Cody's face when he realizes his favorite daughter, his last obedient child, the one he believed would never betray him, is dating a man who shares blood with his mortal enemy. This is not a relationship. This is an infiltration, the enemy breaching the gates of the Shire Chateau. Fire the implications are devastating for Robin if Aurora is involved with someone from the Woolley family. It means she has been in contact with Christine. It means lines have been crossed. It means the isolation bubble Robin fought so hard to build around her children is shattered. It suggests strongly that Christine knew. Maybe she even helped facilitate it. Maybe she said nothing on purpose. Now imagine the phone call between Christine and Robin when this becomes public. Robin, the eternal victim. Christine, the supposed villain. And now Robin must face a brutal truth. Her own daughter prefers the warmth and freedom of the Woolley clan over the suffocating misery inside Cody's mansion. Fire the digital paper trail. The evidence is subtle, but undeniable. We discovered screenshots, quickly deleted, showing Aurora liking posts from multiple members of the Woolley extended family. Not casual likes. Heart reactions. In the digital era, that is a breadcrumb trail. A neon sign. A confession. And for a girl supposedly under the strictest parental surveillance in the entire SisterWives universe, this level of boldness signals something powerful. Either she doesn't care if she gets caught anymore, or she wants to get caught. She wants Cody to know. His control was always an illusion. Fire the photographs Cody doesn't want you to see, but the engagement rumor is only the beginning. We need to address the whisper spreading across Flagstaff, the rumor the tabloids refuse to touch, the pregnancy speculation. Look at her last 3 photos. In one, she hides behind a large purse, directly in front of her stomach. In another, she wears an oversized hoodie multiple sizes too big. In the third, she's cropped from the chest up. To the untrained eye, coincidence. To those who follow celebrity culture, this is the classic hiding the bump maneuver. And if Aurora Brown is pregnant, it obliterates the purity narrative. It destroys Cody's spiritual credibility. It dismantles the illusion of Robin as the perfect mother raising flawless children. It exposes the truth Cody has feared for years. You cannot lock your daughters away from adulthood. You cannot shame them into purity. And you cannot control a woman who has finally found her voice. Cody Brown's entire identity, every shred of his inflated ego, has been stitched together with one delusional belief, that while the other wives failed, he and Robin somehow succeeded. He looks at his older children, the ones with tattoos, the ones who drink wine at family dinners, the ones who left his church to live real, autonomous adult lives, and he sneers. He treats them like cautionary tales, examples of what happens when a mother doesn't obey him. And then he points to Aurora. Aurora, his trophy. Aurora, his proof. Aurora, the shining example he uses to justify every cruel rule, every manipulation, every power play. But if Aurora, his golden child, is pregnant out of wedlock and, even worse, pregnant by a relative of David Woolley, then Cody's entire mythology collapses. It proves what everyone else has known for years. The tighter Cody squeezes, the faster everyone slips through his fingers. And let's be brutally honest about the timeline. If even a fraction of these rumors are true, then Robin isn't just panicking, she is in full-blown crisis mode. Robin, the queen of spin. Robin, the master of rewriting history. Robin, who never takes responsibility for anything except the tears she weaponizes. If Aurora is expecting, Robin's first instinct won't be to protect her daughter. It will be to protect herself. She'll be scrambling to hide the news long enough to stage a quick marriage, fudge the dates, rewrite the narrative, and frame herself, once again, as the victim. And who better to blame than Christine? Already, in the darker corners of the internet, a theory is growing like wildfire. That Robin will claim Christine lured Aurora away. That Christine orchestrated this entire romance. That Christine introduced Aurora to this Woolley relative just to destroy Robin's perfect little kingdom. It sounds ridiculous. It sounds unhinged. But does it sound out of character for Robin Brown? This is the same woman who cried because Christine didn't want to be her best friend after the divorce. The same woman who has spent years insisting that every fracture in the family is someone else's fault. And now, according to multiple sources, all hell has broken loose in the Flagstaff mansion. We're hearing whispers of a blow-up so massive it makes the infamous knife in the kidneys scene look like mild family banter. Sources claim Cody didn't even hear the news from Aurora. He heard it through a leak, maybe a production staffer, maybe a disgruntled sibling, maybe a crew member tired of being yelled at behind the scenes. The moment he found out, he confronted Aurora in the living room. The same living room where he's delivered lecture after lecture about purity, loyalty, and obedience. He demanded answers. He demanded she end the relationship immediately. He allegedly unleashed his favorite weapons, threatening to cut her off financially, threatening to remove her from the family trust, threatening to kick her off the Coyote Pass property, threatening to never speak to her again. This is Cody's signature move, financial abuse dressed up as fatherly concern. But here's where everything changes. This time, Aurora didn't cry. She didn't hyperventilate. She didn't crumble into a panic attack. This time, she stood her ground. Some insiders even claim, almost in disbelief, that she laughed in his face. Imagine the shock to Cody's system, the obedient soldier chuckling at the general's commands. And then came the line that allegedly froze the entire room. "You can't ban him, Dad. We're already married by his church." Now, we must treat this claim with caution. But if it's true, this is a complete dismantling of Cody Brown's empire. If Aurora has entered into a spiritual or legal union without her father's approval, she has essentially declared independence from his kingdom. By invoking another church, she is acknowledging a spiritual authority Cody does not own, does not manage, does not control. To Cody, a man who sees himself as the family's self-appointed high priest, that is the ultimate betrayal. A rejection of his priesthood. A rejection of his authority. A rejection of him as a father, a leader, and a man. Which brings us to the war that's been simmering for a decade, Christine versus Robin. Robin entered the family as the favorite wife, the legal wife, the one Cody showered with money, houses, and attention. Christine, meanwhile, was relegated to the basement wife role, the one who raised the kids while Robin slept in. But look at them now. Christine is thriving, glowing, loved, traveling, smiling. Robin is stuck in a silent mansion with a bitter man and a collapsing narrative. And now, the one thing Robin always held on to, her control over her children, is slipping right out of her hands. And it's slipping toward Christine. Rumors are spreading about a phone call where Robin allegedly screamed at Christine, "You stole my happiness. Don't steal my daughter." This fits Robin's script perfectly. In Robin's world, nothing is ever her fault. Nothing is Cody's fault. Nothing is Aurora's choice. Everything is a conspiracy against her. If Aurora rebels, it cannot be because she's suffocating under Cody's control. It cannot be because Cody is a tyrant. It cannot be because she simply fell in love. No. In Robin's mind, it must be because Christine is an evil mastermind plotting her destruction. And the tragedy is, Robin believes her own stories. This situation drips with irony so thick you could slice it with a knife. For years, Cody and Robin spent every camera-ready moment painting Christine as the problem wife, the rebellious one, the villain in every family narrative. They told the world she was disruptive, untrustworthy, even dangerous to the delicate ecosystem of the Brown household. And now they are convinced she is transformed into a supervillain, a mastermind capable of orchestrating a secret Romeo and Juliet-style romance, all just to defy them. And then there's the boyfriend, the so-called woolly boy. Who is he really? And more importantly, why would he willingly walk straight into a lion's den? Dating Cody Brown's daughter is not a casual teenage fling. This is a high-stakes operation. It comes with implicit threats, with unspoken NDAs, with a father-in-law who demands total, unquestioning submission. Anyone who dares step into that world must be prepared for emotional warfare. Yet here he is, facing down Cody's wrath and refusing to step back. What does that tell you? Either he is utterly fearless or he has a safety net Cody cannot touch. And that is where the David Woolley connection becomes critical. David Woolley does not fear Cody Brown. David Woolley sees Cody as a caricature, a man obsessed with control but incapable of real authority. If this young man has David in his corner, he has protection. He has a network of love, a family ready to embrace Aurora without conditions, without manipulation, without lectures. That is the ultimate threat to Cody Brown. It isn't just that Aurora is dating, it's that she is discovering a functional, loving alternative. And once you see that, you can never unsee it. Current reports suggest that Robin has responded with full lockdown mode. Aurora is grounded indefinitely. Her car keys have reportedly been confiscated. She is being monitored around the clock, trapped inside a cage built of rules, surveillance, and fear. But here's the truth we all know. You cannot imprison a woman in love. The tighter you hold, the harder she will push, the more meticulously she will plot her escape. Aurora is playing the long game now. She is pretending to be compliant, hiding her rebellion behind a mask of obedience, biding her time. She knows the TLC check is coming, and she knows that money is her ticket out of Flagstaff and out from under her father's oppressive control. Which brings us to the burning question, will this explosive story make it onto the show? Season 19 is filming. The cameras are rolling. TLC is watching Cody and Robin sit on a couch, griping about Christine and whispering complaints about the past. Producers are predators. They smell blood in the water. They understand that a forbidden romance, a clandestine affair between the opposing factions of the Brown family, is pure gold for ratings. Cody will fight it. He will try to control the narrative. He will demand footage be cut, try to suppress every humiliating frame. But does he have that power anymore? The fans have shifted. They are Team Christine, Team Janelle, and they are rooting for rebellion against the old order. TLC may see the perfect storm, a scandal so cinematic, so emotionally charged, that exposing Cody's unraveling control is exactly what the audience wants. The blurry Instagram ring. The oversized hoodies hiding secrets. The mysterious man whose face has yet to be revealed. It all paints a stark, undeniable portrait. The Brown family teetering on the edge of collapse, and Cody's empire, built on fear, obedience, and illusion, crumbling before the world's eyes. Cody Brown has already lost 3 wives. One by one, he pushed them away with his narcissism, his control, his endless obsession with appearances over love. And now, the universe seems poised to deliver poetic justice. Because Cody is about to lose his favorite daughter, the one he held up as the perfect trophy of obedience, to the family of the wife he despises more than anyone else. It's almost Shakespearean in its irony. The man who tried to rule everyone, control everyone, manipulate everyone ends up with no one. And make no mistake, this is not some fleeting teenage crush. The stakes here are enormous. If Aurora breaks free, the younger children, Brianna, the tenders, might follow her lead. If they see that life outside the mansion is possible, that love outside Cody's rules is possible, the entire structure of Robin's household could crumble. Cody and Robin are fighting desperately, not for happiness, not for growth, but for survival. They are racing to keep the narrative under their control. But truth has a way of clawing its way to the surface. The evidence is already online. The photos exist. The whispers and rumors are circulating in forums and group chats. And the silence from the family? Deafening. Right now, we are analyzing a zoomed-in frame from a recently posted Instagram story, a story that was only live for 4 minutes before being deleted. In the reflection of a mirror, there appears a male figure. Tall, broad-shouldered, wearing a baseball cap that looks eerily similar to the ones David Woolley favors. Our team is running the image through enhancement software to match facial features, and if this is who we suspect it is, the internet is going to explode. Timing is everything. Christine's wedding special just aired. The world witnessed joy, freedom, and a family moving forward without Cody. Aurora saw it all. She saw her siblings smiling genuinely, felt the warmth of a stepfather hugging children without condition, without fear, without 1,000 rules attached. And then she looked across the dinner table at Cody, seething, ranting about loyalty, bitterness radiating off him like heat. The contrast must have been blinding. That moment, that was the catalyst. The spell was broken. And we cannot ignore the financial angle. Cody has always loved dangling the family trust over his children's heads. He did it with Janelle's boys, moved them out, threatened their inheritance, weaponized his love as a currency. But if Aurora is marrying into the Woolley family, she doesn't need Cody's money. David Woolley is a successful businessman with resources, influence, and stability. Financial leverage that Cody has used for years to manipulate and control becomes irrelevant. This is the moment where Cody's empire begins to crumble. His control, his illusion of authority, his carefully curated narrative, all of it is slipping through his fingers. And the world is watching. This is the moment that strips Cody Brown of his last ounce of leverage. If he cannot buy her loyalty with money, if he cannot intimidate her into obedience, then he has nothing left. He is a king without a kingdom, shouting commands into an empty room, his authority evaporating like smoke. And the drama may not stop there. Rumors are swirling that Mary Brown might be stepping back onto the stage. Once the outcast, Mary has been quietly seen spending time with Robin's children again. Could this be a final act of defiance? Could Mary, knowing the sting of loneliness and confinement, be secretly helping Aurora? If so, it would be the ultimate redemption story. Mary and Christine, the two women who could never see eye to eye, now united in a covert mission to rescue the next generation from the toxicity of Coyote Pass. And then there are the photographs, the hidden stomach shots that have set the rumor mill ablaze. A hoodie too big for Arizona summer. A purse held deliberately over the midsection. Photos cropped at the chest, one after the other. This is not coincidence. It is body language 101. Aurora is guarding something. Whether it's a pregnancy or simply the burden of her secret, she is protecting the core of her life from the prying eyes of her father and stepmother. Meanwhile, Cody's fury is unmistakable. Clips circulating online show a man manic with rage, spittle flying as he rants, eyes wild with fear. Not just anger at the past, but terror at the present. We are waiting on confirmation of the living room tribunal, the confrontation where Cody allegedly demanded Aurora break off her relationship. If verified, the reported line about a church-sanctioned marriage could mark the single biggest scandal in the history of SisterWives. Cody Brown has always seen himself as the celestial gatekeeper, the ultimate priest of his family. For Aurora to bypass him spiritually is to reject his very authority, to challenge the sacred order he believes he controls. But the betrayal runs even deeper. Behind the scenes, a proxy war rages between the mothers. For years, Robin has performed the role of grieving stepmother, longing for the big family picture, yearning for that idyllic porch moment with all the wives together. But now the porch is empty, the chair's cold, and Robin needs a villain to blame. In her narrative, children are possessions, not individuals. Aurora's rebellion cannot be hers alone. Someone must be pulling the strings. And who is the perfect puppet master in Robin's mind? Christine Brown. Sources close to the family report that Robin is convinced Christine orchestrated this entire romance. The theory: Christine, basking in her newfound happiness with David, is dangling the carrot of freedom in front of Aurora, whispering from afar, "Look at how good life can be without your angry father. Look at how much joy is out there." A late-night phone call allegedly erupted between Robin and Christine, shattering the walls of the Flagstaff mansion. Robin, in rare unguarded fury, screamed at Christine, "You stole my happiness. Don't steal my daughter." Notice the possessiveness. It is not about Aurora's safety, her happiness, or her freedom. It is about ownership, control, and ego. Cody, as always, fans the flames. He is not seeking reconciliation. He is stoking paranoia. The Shira Chateau has become a minimum security prison. Aurora is grounded, her car keys confiscated, her phone monitored. Every call she makes is scrutinized. They are attempting to sever the line of communication, to cut off the boyfriend entirely, believing that isolation will erase desire. But forbidden love has a way of surviving even the harshest confinement. The more they attempt to imprison her, the stronger her resolve grows. Each moment in that house strengthens her plans for escape. Aurora is not naive. She has learned from years of observing Robin's manipulation. Now, insiders suggest she is playing Robin at her own game. She nods, she smiles, she feigns submission, all while waiting for the right moment. And the key to her freedom? The money. Aurora is legally entitled to her TLC paycheck, a nest egg she controls as an adult. She is biding her time, letting the checks clear before she walks out and never looks back. She wants autonomy, stability, and a marriage entered on her own terms. It is a calculated, strategic, undeniably smart move, survival instincts worthy of a Brown. And if the pregnancy rumors are true, the stakes skyrocket. A secret child accelerates her escape plan because you cannot hide a pregnancy forever, not with 4K cameras rolling. Season 19 is filming. The cameras are rolling. Cody cannot stop what is coming. He cannot erase the evidence. The ring, the secret meetings, the hidden faces captured online. TLC knows where the audience's loyalty lies, and they are no longer protecting him. The story will air. It will be the final nail in the coffin of the plural marriage experiment, proving that dysfunction has seeped into the next generation. Picture the season finale. Aurora slipping out in the dead of night, packing her bag quietly past the endless art and cardboard boxes, stepping into a waiting car. A man in a baseball cap at the wheel. Ratings would shatter records. Cody knows this. He isn't afraid of losing Aurora. He is terrified of the world watching him fail. He fears the audience seeing his control shattered, his perfect daughter choosing freedom over tyranny. Aurora will join the Woolley family. Holidays, barbecues, TikToks, laughter. Cody will log in and see it all, a daily reminder of his failure. The ultimate poetic justice. The patriarch who divided, manipulated, and controlled finds himself excluded from the very families he sought to dominate. Robin is already spinning a narrative. If Aurora leaves, the story will be that she was brainwashed, lost to the secular world. Robin will play the grieving, sympathetic mother, never admitting her role in the smothering, in the cruelty of the purity culture. But fans see the truth. You see a young woman reclaiming her life, her happiness, her autonomy. So here's the State of the Union. Cody Brown has lost 3 wives, the respect of the public, his financial grip, and now he is on the verge of losing his crown jewel, Aurora. Coyote Pass is a barren monument to procrastination and control. And within its walls, silence is being replaced by the sound of rebellion. We promised you the face of the mystery man. We promised the evidence Cody tried to erase. Check the pinned comment for a secure host with the enhanced screenshot of the man in the mirror. Compare jawlines, eyes, features. The resemblance to David Woolley's nephew is undeniable. Aurora hasn't just found a boyfriend. She has found a family. The pregnancy rumors grow louder. A baby registry under a fake name may already exist in Flagstaff. We are investigating every lead. Cody can ban the boy from Flagstaff. He can ban him from the house. But he cannot ban the truth. Is Aurora pregnant? Or is it a manipulation by Robin to control the narrative? Is this the season the Robin bubble finally bursts? Comment below. We read every word. And if you want the first update when the wedding date leaks, because it will leak, hit subscribe and ring the bell. We are the only channel exposing the real secrets of the SisterWives. The Brown family is crumbling, and we are here to chronicle every brick that falls. Remember, love should be multiplied, not divided. Unless you're Cody Brown, then everything is just subtracted.